Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a good one today. I'm Nick, and today I'm going to be ranking the kills in Final Destination. Now, I've reviewed all 5 movies from this franchise, and I've ranked the franchise back in spring. If you want to go check out those videos, they're here on this channel. And yeah, the kills are basically the main thing about Final Destination and its films. So let's get right into ranking them. So coming in the last place at number 6, we got all the passengers on Flight 180. Not the premonition itself. I'll be ranking the premonition separately from all the kills. I'll do a separate video for those. Be ranking all the premonitions from the entire franchise. But this is just when they're in the airport and they're looking out and you see the plane flying away and then boom, it explodes out of nowhere, sending a shockwave. It blows out every window in the airport, which is a really cool effect. Don't think that would actually happen in real life, but it was really cool to see. We don't actually get to see any of the deaths or anything aside from when we were in the premonition, so this one easily comes in last place for me. Oh, and by the way, there were 287 people on that flight. Now, coming in at number 5, we got Carter. The very end of this flick, he saves Alex, and then he looks at him and says, "Who's next?" while a huge ass sign is breaking off behind him, swinging towards him, and that's how the movie ends. We kind of have to assume that he died, but it is confirmed in part 2 that he actually did die from the sign, so it's going on this kill ranking. And yeah, like I said, you don't really get to see the act itself. It's like right up to when it's about to happen, but it's really out of nowhere, and it kind of lets you know that this shit is never over, and none of them are ever going to be safe. You cannot hide from death, or cheat it for that matter. Coming in at number 4, we got Miss Valerie Luton dying from getting glass in her neck while also getting a knife in her chest. This is definitely the most stretched out death out of all of these in this film. It's elaborate, but it's also a little convoluted at times. A whole lot is going on. She goes from pouring hot boiling water to pouring a cold drink of vodka in there with some ice, which causes the glass to crack, or the mug I should say. Eventually leaks in her PC, making it explode. The piece of the monitor, the glass, goes in her neck, causing blood to come out. Another explosion. I think the vodka bottle blows up, makes her fly on the ground, and when she's reaching up for a cloth to clog the wound on her neck, it knocks down a bunch of knives, one of them going in her chest, and you're like, this is so crazy, especially when this is the first movie in the franchise and you didn't really see this crazy of a death, like this elaborate planning all going on, right? This is really the first of its kind, but the other movies kind of do the same thing eventually. But yeah, it kind of ends with the Alex coming in trying to help her, and the stove ends up blowing up or exploding, causing a chair to go down and push the knife even deeper in her chest and put her out for good. This is a kill I liked a whole lot when this movie first came out. It's starting to go down in my rankings over the years, but it's still a fun one. Making our way to the top 3, at number 3, we got Todd Wagner getting strangled by the clothesline in the tub. Now, this is the first death after the explosion of Flight 180, so we don't really know what's going on yet when your first time watching this film. It's quite different. We get like water coming out from behind the toilet, which makes him slip, and that's what gets his neck caught on the cord and eventually chokes him, which his eyes get all bloodshot, and it looks kind of creepy. Probably the most visceral death in the movie. Just because it lasts a little bit longer. It's like drawn out with him choking, right, and suffocating. It's real nasty looking. But funny enough, the water retreats back to behind the toilet at the end, so it's like death is covering up its tracks in this one. I believe it's so it looks more like a suicide and not an accident, right? Because death doesn't want to get caught. No, it doesn't want anybody to figure out its plan, I guess. Coming in at number 2, we got Billy Hitchcock getting decapitated by the shrapnel on the train tracks. What another death that's kind of out of nowhere. He's yelling at Carter like, "Man, you're gonna cause us all to die," and going on. And while that's happening, the piece of metal comes up and decapitates him, but it does it like above his chin. So it's really unique It's not like a regular decapitation that we see all the time in these flicks. But yeah, I really like that it was like at an odd spot, and you really see it when the whole body falls, because the head flies off and goes rolling while the body falls. It looks really cool, and of course it's played by Sean William Scott, so that's always fun to see him in these type of movies. But coming into number one, my favorite kill in Final Destination is Terry's death. It is the most out of nowhere and sudden death, and I think the whole franchise, you don't expect it at all. She just walks on the road and bam, the bus just hits her. You don't see it coming at all. And it's like, wow. Like, you know something's gonna happen, but you don't expect this to happen this quickly. Like, it's so out of nowhere. And I love that as soon as it happens, you see like the little blood splatter that goes on everybody's face that's close to her. Man, I always love that kill. It's out of nowhere and shocking, but at the same time it's kind of funny after you've seen the film, especially, and you're expecting it to happen, you're waiting for it does give me a little chuckle as well. But yeah, this is easily my favorite death in the entire flick. So there you have it, guys. There's my ranking of all the kills, or deaths I should say, in Final Destination. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll be sure to come back with more ranking the kills. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching.